Hello, my name's David Lewis. I'm head gardener at the Roof Gardens in Kensington, and I'm a garden writer on various topics to do with gardening. Today I'm here to talk about choosing furniture for your garden and how you look after it and get the best results from your furniture in your garden. So at the Roof Gardens we have quite a lot of furniture. I have 56 of these chairs, 2 of which are behind me, which I'm going to talk about in a second, and 10 tables. So it's quite a large volume of wooden furniture to look after, and they're 30 years old. So it's what do you do to keep furniture like that looking its best all the time? Well, over the years there's been various ideas at the Roof Gardens, and some have been quite wrong. Here's an example of what I inherited at the Roof Gardens. As you can see, someone in the past, even though it was a beautiful, very high-end chair, rather than someone treating the wood, someone had just decided to give it a quick coat of coloured varnish so that they could get it the colour they wanted, which was great at the time, but they hadn't actually treated the wood underneath. So over the years it's peeled off. You can see someone had a go at pressure washing it to keep it clean, and all you get is this sort of greying, silvering. And so the combination of the two is a complete disaster. So we had to decide what to do. Well, we either replaced all the furniture, which was one option that was going to cost us rather a lot of money, or another option was to sand down all of this and get it back to where it should be, and that's what we did. Now, because of the mistakes being made over the years, it took one guy 2 months to clean up all our chairs. He's very bored of sanding furniture now, but he got most of the gunk off and got back to a nice finish on the wood, and then we used the Cuprinol garden furniture stain. Unfortunately, I've only got a tin of teak, but actually this is clear, so this is the wood colour. And it was just fantastic how the whole thing just came back to life. And although it doesn't look like a new chair, a 30-year-old piece of wood that's been outside for 30 years is not going to, so it's kept its age, but it just looks like it's supposed to. It looks rich and quality. The other aspect of when you're choosing furniture, rather than looking after it, is what sort of furniture you want in your garden. And I think there are 3 criteria really. Do you like it? If you don't like it, don't buy it. I think that's a very important thing, no matter how good someone tells you it is. But also buy furniture that fits your lifestyle. It's very easy to start believing that if you have a wonderful, great big table, you're all going to sit round it and enjoy yourself. Well, actually, the way you want to live in your garden is probably the same as the way you live in your house. So if you'd rather be lounging and snacking, then that's fine. But out in your garden, do the same. Have benches, have casual seating, have your barbecue, so that you can relax in the way you would like to relax. Now, my wife's Italian, and as you probably know, Italians like to sit round a large table, generally with all their family. So that fits us perfectly. We like that, we like the interaction of being able to talk at close quarters and put food on the table. But that's a decision everybody has to make for themselves. So that's the way you live in your garden and the way you use your furniture. The other aspect is what style of furniture you like. Now, as I say, choose what you like, but if you've decided to go with a theme in your garden, then it's worth combining the furniture into that theme rather than choosing something that's very different. So if you're going for a very contemporary type of garden, then choosing something, I don't know if you can just see it at the back here, there's a little Lutyens bench there. They're very nice. They look a bit odd in a Spanish garden. They were chosen a few years ago for the garden, but actually they've become part of that garden now. But they wouldn't really fit in a very clean line contemporary garden. For that, for those sort of clean lines, then think about that. There's a lot of very well-designed garden furniture around today. You've only got to walk off in any direction at this show, actually, and you can see a lot of it. But choose something that goes with that, and I would err, he says, on the side of a darker colour if you're going for a contemporary look. It's going to weather better, which is one thing about a garden, but also it looks more sculptural in a garden where you've got a lot of green, darker furniture, and less householdy, if you like. It seems to have that stronger design element to it. So you can see I've forgotten my notes, and I'm actually doing this without my notes. The other aspect of furniture, of course, is if you want an intense colour rather than just the wooden look, then painted furniture is always a good option. I'd rarely recommend you paint a deck unless you want that colour and you're prepared to do the maintenance. But when it comes to the furniture, I think it gets less, well, you're not walking on it to start with, so it gets less damage, but you can create a very specific look very easily with painted furniture. And as you can see behind, you get a lovely sort of Edwardian feel with a combination of three very contemporary colours in the Cupinol tea gardens here. But if you want to go for something richer and darker, say to go into a woodland area, then there are the intense sort of berry colours. And if you want to go for something more Spanish, which I have here, the Spanish garden at the Roof Gardens, intense colours are fantastic to use in that sort of powerful space. If you're in Spain, we know that if you go to Spain, in a garden in Spain, the idea is to cool it down as much as possible. So they tend to use a lot of blues and lighter colours just to bring in that coolness because they've got the heat. Well, if you want a Spanish or Mediterranean theme here, you need to put that heat in because we won't necessarily get it in a British summer. So using a brighter colour like terracottas, golden yellows, even some of the more brighter but intense colours such as pinks work quite well in that kind of environment if you're creating it here. I wouldn't necessarily suggest that in Spain. I would suggest the pale blues and the whites. Yes. Does anyone have any specific questions about